Sapato. I bill myself as the most famous, unfamous speaker in America. You can just call me Steve. How's that? Great. All right. One of the things I've heard recently is that of the people who attend Bill Walsh luncheons, 1 in 3 is extremely attractive, extremely intelligent, right, and headed for success. Now I want everybody to look to your left. Now look to your right. You can see it's neither one of them. So it must be you. Right? How cool is that? Right? So what I want you to know is how many people here network? Is that how you get some of your work? Networking? Almost everybody networks to get your networking, to get your leads, to get your people, to get to know them. Why do you network? Somebody give me a hint. Why do you network?
To grow your sphere of influence.
Grow your sphere of influence. Make more connections, right? So most people say, I want to make more connections. I want to get to know more people. I want to make more money. I want to book more appointments. Does that sound reasonable? Excellent, okay? Because that's what we're going to be showing you is how what you're probably doing right now is not necessarily working. One of the things I teach is professional business networking, okay? Now, the reason I teach that is because most people don't understand the number one thing that will help your networking get better. Would you like to know what that is? Here, this is yes. This is no. And this is Steve, I don't care. And you get to decide. But I will help you with that because it turns out that when you go networking, okay, what you have to understand is almost everyone is selfish. I want everybody. Who's the most important person in this room? Wait, don't raise your hand. I want you all to point to me. God bless you. I want you all to point. Raise your hand. Come on, join me. Point to me. Stephen. Right? Now take that finger and pull it right back in. That is the most important person in this room. Now, you knew that before, didn't you? Now, I know some of you wanted to say, no, it's Steve Sapato, the most famous, unfamous speaker in America. No, it's still you. And I know a couple of you brown voters wanted to say Bill Walsh. But it's not him either, right? It is you. And once you start to understand that most people are self-aware, no, what is that word where you're self-absorbed? Right, you with me? Self-absorbed. Well, that means we're kind of selfish, doesn't it? And once you understand that most people are selfish, that's going to change how you network. Let me give you an example. A lot of people are taught about their elevator talks. You guys ever taken a class on your elevator pitch? Anybody taken that class? Some people have paid, I had somebody pay somebody to craft their elevator talk $5,000. Wow, gotta have a lot of money to pay that. Right? But most people pay between $500 and $1,000 to have somebody help them craft their elevator talk. And what they teach them is, there's two parts to it. There's a part where you talk about your company, and there's the top part where you talk about yourself. I know, some people here are in real estate. So here's what they teach you to say. Hi, I'm Steve. I'm with XYZ Real Estate, right? We've been in business for 540 years, and we represent over 56 states. And blah, 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 for 30 seconds. Then you switch over to, and as a realtor, I'm exceptional in how I take care of my customers, how I take care of my clients, what I do, right? I have all these wonderful designations, the CRP, the XYZ, the ABC, the NBC, and the FYI, nobody cares. Because they don't care about what you do until they know that you could help them. Have you heard that expression? Nobody cares how much you know until they
know how much you care.
Know how much you care. Excellent. And that's so important when we're doing our elevator talks, is that we understand that we've been taught for the whole 20th century, now we're in 21st century, it's time to learn, that we now need to change it up. We need to start talking about them. And that's one of the things I will be talking with you about here today, is how do we make it about us? Okay? So, why did you guys come here today? You could have gone networking without leaving your house, right? You probably had 5, 10 opportunities to network with people on your computer. Everybody with me? Right? You probably had summits you could attend. You probably had webinars. What made you attend today was the expertise of one person here. and that's Mr. Bill Walsh. You came because his expertise says, I can learn, I can grow, I can become someone, and I need to learn how. Now, that makes a big difference, but why is Bill Walsh an expert? What makes Bill Walsh an expert? Knowledge, right? Could it be knowledge? Maybe, but and I know knowledgeable and smart people who are not experts at all, correct?
Results.
Results? Absolutely, I will hold on that. Because the other part, people think, well, if they're rich, if you're rich, you're an expert. No, that's not true, right? If you're a celebrity, you're an expert. That's not necessarily true either. But yes, when we talk about what makes someone an expert, what really designs that are two things. When people start coming to you for advice, and when you start giving them winning advice that changes their lives and their companies. Does that make sense? Right? What makes you an expert is when people start coming to you for advice. And once they're coming to you for advice and you have the knowledge to help them, you become that on that journey to expert. How many people here would love to be an expert? Right? Nobody else? 3/4. Yeah, she was holding out. She's a holder. We'll be careful with her. Right? When I ask people to make these funny faces, she'll probably be the first one to jump in, though, won't she? Right, Jen? Probably. All right. So what I want you to understand then is if you understand it, you have those two factors taking you to the expert status. But you're missing some things. You're missing the celebrity part of that. Okay? And by celebrity, I mean if you become a great speaker. I teach people to become great speakers, great presenters. And if what you do is become a great speaker and people are coming to you for knowledge and advice, and you're able to give that advice, you move up again in that level towards expert. But when we get to that place, we also have to be able to move the people. We have to engage our audience. Anybody here do public speaking? Nobody yet? A couple people, right? The one thing, in order to sell more, in order to be more, in order to have more, right? In order to grow your dental practice, you have to be able to contribute. So every time you get the opportunity, you should be in front of a group and talk. Okay? And that means you get the opportunity to say, I am somebody, and my expertise is right here. When we talk about that, you have to be engaging. You have to reach into them. You have to reach them emotionally. How many people know that once you reach your audience emotionally, they'll do more with you, for you, and because of you? That's what Bill Walsh can teach you how to do. Excellent at getting you to reach your target audience. And when we talk about that, that's the thing that I want you to understand, is when we speak, right, what makes us that person who can engage an audience? You have to be visible. So once you become a great speaker, you have to get on a stage. I also do a thing called speaker talks, which I put people on a stage, 15 minutes on a stage, get you a professionally recorded sizzle reel, and then help you create your sizzle reel that will make you memorable. How many people in here have a website? Most of us? Okay. If you have a website, what helps you is you have to have that sizzle reel. You speaking to a group, you talking about your expertise, you being the expert. Also, it's you being seen on other people's stages. When you're seen on other people's stages, that means other people consider you the expert. More people, more celebrities, more prominent people see you as expert, other people will see you as an expert. How many people would like to be the expert and have everybody else calling them? Would that help you grow your business? Yes. Grow your business? Isn't that why we're here? We want to grow our business. I'm looking to see how much time I got left. Okay. Right? So there's two things that help you be more engaging. One, if you're a speaker, you have to ask lots of questions. How many people when they speak ask lots of questions? Most of us give the answers, right? But yet you have to ask those questions. And did you know there's a certain way, who in here is in sales? Just a couple. Okay. Do you know there's a certain way to ask a question? Did you know that? A certain way to ask a question. Everybody understand that? Right? Because I could ask the question, what are you, stupid? That doesn't necessarily impress someone, does it? There are certain ways to ask a question, and there's certain flows to your question. Did you know that? So let me ask you a question. Have you ever asked for a referral, and people look at you like a tree full of flowers? Got any referrals for me? Can you refer me to somebody? They go, I don't think so. Not right now. That's because you didn't ask questions in the right order. You didn't ask the right questions. Because you see, we all have boxes. And once you get into these boxes, you ask this question, open that box. You ask this question, open that box. And about 4 questions down, and we can teach you that. You ask this question, and that opens up the referral box. And now they'll say, oh, yes, I have a couple people that I could refer you to. Wow. Learning how to ask the right questions in the right order is phenomenally a change for your business. And that's what you need to start learning. We can teach you that. Okay? Then there's also storytizing. Storytizing. I know you guys look at me like, what? Storytelling and storytizing are different. You guys know that? Mm-hmm. Just like being in the movies and being on a camera on TV are different. You guys know that? I offer a course. It's called Certified Virtual Presenter. And it's designed to help you if you're going to become a top-notch speaker. It's designed to help you get on more virtual stages. So when people look at your website, look at what you do, you say, I'm a certified virtual presenter, which means you've got additional training on how to be a great presenter. Oh my gosh, how important is that in today's world? But what that means is, you and I know that there are certain movie stars who never made the transition to TV, right? And there are TV stars who didn't make the transition to movies, right? You watched them bomb. Well, why is that? Different skills for the big screen, different skills for the little screen. That's the same here with storytelling and storytizing. Storytelling, when you thought about it before, people go, hey, you want to be a great storyteller? What do you think of? Children? You guys think of children? Putting them to bed? Helping them go to sleep? You know, that's one of the things about storytelling is you put your audience to sleep. That's not what you want to do, is it? That's not what you want to do. That's why I have a program called Storytizing. Right? And what storytizing does, it absolutely energizes your talks. Have you ever met somebody who talked about themselves? Are they absolutely interesting people? Hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. Look what I did. Want to hear what I did? Want to see what I did yesterday? Want to do this? You're like, oh, I don't want to talk to Bob. Oh, there's Bob. I don't want to talk to Bob. Bob always talks about himself. I don't want to talk to Karen. Oh, Karen's that other person on Facebook, isn't she? I don't want to talk to Karen. She always talks about herself. Matter of fact, Karen nowadays always screaming. Screaming at Karens. So what you want to know is, how do I connect by using one versus the other? Storytelling, they'll tell you all about it. Matter of fact, I've had authors who came to me to be a better speaker. And I said, okay, what do you want to talk about? And they say, my book is about my story. Anybody here got a story they want to share? A story that they want to, that changed businesses as well as lives? That's when these people say, I want to change people's lives. I want to tell my story. Well, then it can't be your story. How many people here love to hear somebody ramble on about themselves? Nobody loves that? See, that's the problem with networking as well as your speaking. Storytizing is about taking your talk. It's all about you. It's your story. And you take that. How many people in here have a speaker blender sitting on their desk at their office? Got a speaker blender? Get with me. I'll teach you how to have a speaker blender. Okay? And you take that speaker blender, you set it on your desk, and then you write your talk. You take your talk, you put it in that speaker blender, you push the button, and when it's all mixed up, you pour it out. And you know what you get? You get your story using their memories and their emotions. Remember when I said, if you can reach them emotionally, that it will change lives? That's what we teach you to do. How to reach people by telling them your story, but with their memories and their emotions. Oh my gosh, did you get a tingle? If you want to be a speaker, you should have got a tingle on that one. So here's what I want you to do. Oh, now I can't see my timer. Here's what I want you to do. All right? Is, first of all, how many people here have a superpower? Speaker superpower. Do you have a speaker superpower? If you want to know if you have a speaker superpower, I want you to text superpower to 26786. So if you want to know if you have a speaker superpower, right? I want you to text superpower to 26786. And we will teach you how to find your superpower. Trust me, if you've got friends who are speakers, you should give them that same information. So if you haven't written it down, you should write it down. Superpower 26786. And what I want you to know is that we are here to help you to grow your businesses. We are here to help you become phenomenally successful. Bill Walsh is one of the premier speakers and leaders for teaching people how to grow their businesses, not just in Tampa. We were just out visiting with Bill in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago, right, where he had 25 other people in a room teaching us how to get better. He's going to be in Sarasota next week teaching more people how to be more successful. You should get with Bill. Right? If you want to be more successful, I highly encourage you to talk to Bill Walsh. Right? My name is Steve Sapato. I'm the most famous, unfamous speaker in America, and I want to now bring up a gentleman who is doing a Rainmaker program. I highly recommend it. My wife signed up for the Rainmaker program. I highly recommend that if you would like to grow your business, that you at least sign up for the Rainmaker program to help change your life. Mr. Bill Walsh.
How's everyone doing? Come on, how's everyone doing?
Great.
You guys got to do better than that, man.